Brace yourselves, Cleveland, because an absolute beast is tearing up the turf down in Berea right now. Nobody saw this level of pure dominance coming so fast, but we just found the ultimate deep threat our offense desperately needed. This crazy standout rookie is totally embarrassing defenders and making unbelievable catches every single day at camp. You will not believe who is taking over. If you bleed orange and brown and bark loud for the dog pound, then punch that subscribe button and leave your like right this second. Join the biggest Browns community today. Browns fans, the most exciting news from Berea right now centers around rookie wide receiver Denzel Boston, who has quickly become the undisputed highlight of training camp's first week. This electrifying second-round pick, drafted just 15 spots after fellow wideout Casey Concepcion, is already answering the call we so desperately needed after last year's wide receiver core, with Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman managing just 2 scores apiece, limped to a grand total of only 4 receiving touchdowns. Boston, a 6'4", 210-pound talent out of Washington, continues the outstanding performance he showed in the offseason program, now flashing exceptional ability at high-pointing contested passes and demonstrating tremendous consistency, according to Darrell Reuter and Lance Reisland, among others. This is precisely the big playability that was nowhere to be found in our offense last year, and it's why we, as Cleveland Browns fans, should feel incredibly optimistic right now, even acknowledging the common mistake of overreacting to small training camp samples. Think about it this way. With a clear need for a true X receiver, a player who excels in one-on-one matchups with strong hands and great body control, Boston, who's carrying a big chip on his shoulder, has been everything we could ask for, even while navigating a quarterback competition that has yielded little optimism. His early success isn't a knock on Concepcion, who is a different type of slot receiver. Instead, they should complement each other beautifully, with Boston commanding deep help and opening the middle for Concepcion, while also putting in work on special teams. What should truly surprise us isn't just Denzel Boston's stellar training camp, but how swiftly he's stepping into a role the Browns have desperately needed for years. A void that became starkly clear last season when our wide receivers only managed a grand total of 4 receiving touchdowns, with Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman each scoring just 2. This persistent lack of a true X receiver, a player capable of consistently winning one-on-one matchups on the line of scrimmage, has plagued our offense for some time, leading owner Jimmy Haslam and the front office to make a decisive move in the 2026 NFL Draft. They invested significant capital by taking 2 wideouts in the second round, with the 6'4", 210-pound Boston from Washington being the second of those crucial selections. His immediate impact, already a standout in the offseason program, and now consistently flashing exceptional ability at high-pointing the ball and demonstrating tremendous consistency, directly addresses this long-standing deficiency. And here's why that's a big deal for head coach Todd Monken and the entire coaching staff. Boston's performance isn't just a feel-good story. It validates their strategic draft decision and, more importantly, provides a much-needed, steady perimeter target for a quarterback room still mired in an unresolved competition. As Lance Reisland observed with Shedder Sanders' outstanding weight transfer on a throw to Boston, a reliable receiver allows for the assessment and development of any quarterback, even if ball placement remains a work in progress. This consistency and big playability, something Browns fans haven't seen enough of from the receiver position, injects real optimism into our offensive future. With the camp reports now in, let's dig into what Denzel Boston's impressive start truly signifies for our Cleveland Browns. This is a crucial development right now because it directly addresses the glaring weakness of our wide receiver room from last season, where the entire group managed a meager 4 receiving touchdowns. Boston's consistent big playability and knack for winning contested catches provides much-needed optimism amidst our current quarterback uncertainty, offering a stable presence despite inconsistent ball placement. On the roster, Boston immediately projects as a high-impact player, likely filling the true X-receiver role we desperately needed, taking pressure off Jerry Jeudy and complementing the slot-focused Casey Concepcion. His early work on special teams further solidifies his roster spot and value, making our receiving core much more diverse and potent. What makes this even bigger is the immediate tactical advantage it offers for upcoming games and matchups. His ability to consistently win one-on-one battles means our quarterbacks, regardless of who wins the job, will have a reliable, high-point target who can move the chains and challenge defenses vertically. This opens up our playbook, allowing offensive coordinator Todd Monken to scheme more creatively and create mismatches, freeing up other weapons like Harold Fannin Jr. Looking at our division rivals, the Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens, having a strong X-receiver who demands attention will be vital in those tough matchups, forcing their defenses to respect our outside threat and making us less predictable in attack. This elevated receiving threat, almost entirely absent last year, significantly bolsters our overall competitiveness. By directly filling such a critical void, Boston's emergence visibly brightens our playoff prospects, giving us a genuine reason for renewed excitement about our season ahead. Cleveland Browns fans, the undeniable upside of Denzel Boston's training camp is a breath of fresh air for this receiving core, especially after last year's anemic 4 receiving touchdowns from wide receivers, with Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman managing just 2 apiece. His 6'4", 210-pound frame from Washington and consistent ability to high-point contested passes, as seen in the nice grab by Denzel Boston highlighted by Darrell Reuter, immediately addresses our long-standing need for a true X receiver who can consistently win one-on-one matchups on the perimeter. This is a player who flashes outstanding continuity from the offseason program, and according to Lance Reisland, even beats top defenders like Tyson Campbell with deep comebacks, showing high-level route running that makes a difference. However, we must also acknowledge the inherent risk of overreacting to training camp, where, as analysts around the league often note, any shiny thing can be blown out of proportion given the small sample size and coming off a football drought. While Boston is impressive, his fellow second-round pick, KC Conception, has shown some inconsistency, reminding us that development isn't always linear for rookies. Now, here's the thing. With the quarterback competition still mired in little optimism, Boston's impact might be limited if the ball isn't placed effectively, though he has offered a steady presence. What I really think, despite the valid cautions against camp hype, is that Boston's unique skill set, specifically his consistent ability to make contested catches and fill that crucial X-receiver role, transcends typical August optimism. His performance feels foundational, not fleeting, and his early work on special teams further solidifies his immediate value to this team. So, when we look at Denzel Boston's electrifying start to training camp alongside what it means for the Cleveland Browns moving forward, we see a much-needed injection of hope and a clearer vision for our offense. This isn't just about a camp flash. It's about finally addressing a glaring weakness that plagued us last season when our wide receivers managed only 4 total touchdowns. Boston, a 6'4", 210-pound second-round pick out of Washington, is demonstrating the exact skill set of a true X receiver. Someone who can consistently win contested catches, high-point the ball, and deliver big plays, as Darrell Reuter and Lance Reisland's tweets highlight. This foundational piece fundamentally changes the calculus for our offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, by providing a legitimate perimeter threat that forces defenses to adjust. And I cannot stress this enough, his presence should open up the field for Jerry Jeudy, tight end Harold Fannin Jr., and even fellow rookie KC Concepcion, creating the kind of dynamic and versatile receiving core this team has desperately needed for seasons. As Cleveland Browns fans, we should feel genuinely optimistic heading into